if I could just lay out some data points that talk about, what the challenges are that we see in the agriculture business and protein and food production, is that there are a lot of small independent producers growing food and raising livestock that have to be a part of the solution. For example, we do business with nearly 10,000 independent farmers and ranchers around the country, and we're committed to doing business with those producers who are committed to raising food in a sustainable and transparent way. What I can tell you is, farmers are raising animals using less feed and water than they were 50 years ago, but that doesn't mean that we still don't have a long way to go in terms of creating a sustainable food system. We know, for example, that practices like planting cover crops are beneficial to soil health and soil erosion. And there's a lot of attention around the potential for farming practices to sequester carbon in agricultural soil. And we're trying to figure out what the longevity of those types of solutions are. But what I do know, and what I'll wrap up by saying, Jason, is a couple of things. One, American farmers and ranchers are some of the most resilient people in the world. And many of those that we do business with have been on the same plot of land for 50 years or almost a century. And the other thing I know is that American industry, I think as we've seen time and time again, I'm a small student of history, has risen to the challenges that it is faced with and come together to solve those problems. And so I think this conversation today is just one step of many positive steps toward America, business leaders and a lot of the public sector leaders in Washington and around the country that are listening here, coming together to solve the problem of reducing emissions. Two things that we think are really critical as it comes to measurement and reporting in the world. The first is transparency and information will drive accountability. And you talked about taxpayers and shareholders coming together, the ultimate bearers of kind of the costs and benefits of these kinds of investments. And consumers also need that information so they can make choices about who they're doing business with. And so we believe that information and high quality information allows the American public to partner with and support those players in the game that are trying to do the right thing. We think science has to lead the way. And we believe that's especially true in the world of carbon credits and carbon markets that are starting to proliferate. Look to those companies that are walking the walk in addition to talking the talk. That's critical. But you also asked the question, I think, do we need support from the government? And I think the answer to that question, what I'll say is we have a chance of being successful sooner if there is public and private partnership in pursuing this innovation